Mula sa estado ng training ng Philippine tennis team hanggang sa tagumpay ng 15-year-old tenniser na si Alex Ayala, tinalakayan lahat ni na teammate Dennis Principe at ni Philippine Tennis Association Head Coach Chris Cuarto dito sa Sports Chat.
Mainit na usapin ngayon sa Philippine sports ang tennis dahil na rin sa magandang pinapakita ni Philippine tennis sensation Alex Ayala. Pero maliban kay Ayala, marami pang nangyayari ngayon sa Philippine tennis. At para mas maliwanagan tayo tungkol dyan, ay inimbita natin ngayong hapon dito sa PTV Sports ang head coach ng Philippine tennis team na si Coach Chris Cuarto. Magandang hapon, Coach, and welcome sa PTV Sports.
Yes, magandang hapon po sa lahat ng nanonood ng PTV Sports at magandang gabi sa lahat.
Alright, Coach, yung 2021 season, ito nga, no, kakabukas lang, pero we're still on the same situation nung 2020. Na yun nga, hindi pa rin pwede ang team training, lalo na po dito sa atin. And siguro kung makapagbigay po kayo ng update as of this time, ano po bang klaseng training kung sakasakali ang pinagdadaanan ngayon ng ating mga national netters?
Okay, as of now, tennis is one of the sports na pinapayagan ng IATF pero mostly recreational purposes, parang for exercise, it was already allowed. So yung national team natin, most of them have been training, but mostly on their own muna because yun nga, ang team training is not yet permitted. Also, mostly yung mga clubs ngayon, open na rin. Yung mga sports clubs natin within Metro Manila, open na sila. They are already accepting yung mga members to play the sport. So yun, I think for now, most of them are training on their own, keeping themselves busy with training. So, but yun nga, as of now talaga, wala pa ring competitions eh. Even international competitions, medyo mahirap pa din sumali because of those health protocols na kailangan sundin ng mga players natin.
Mm-hmm. Pero Coach, meron ba tayong training bubble na ginagawa rin or paano ba? Individual pa lang yung mga trainings natin as of now?
Yes, individuals pa rin. I think yung mga nag-bubble ngayon, I think PSC provided a bubble training for the Olympic teams natin. But for tennis, ano pa lang, puro personal training muna, on their own muna, wala pang team training.
Mm-hmm. Pero if ever ba meron tayong na-accomplish, major accomplishment dun sa ginagawa natin or tingin mo personally, para sa'yo, kumbaga if truth be told, medyo nakukulangan ka pa rin ba?
With kasi ngayon the world is on a standstill eh. So lahat ngayon is walang training sa lahat ngayon eh. So I think training lang talaga. I think we just have to continue practicing pa rin. Hopefully the situation gets better towards the middle of the year. As of now, we cannot really gauge kung nakukulangan tayo sa ensayo, sa training, because everything now is on a standstill. So we're just hoping for the best for the players. Hopefully when the situation gets better.
Pero Coach, paano yun? Talagang as in kanya-kanya tayo. They set their own schedules, training regimen, or meron kayong binibigay sa kanila for them to follow and for you to monitor? Paano ba yung setup?
Yes, the coaches sa national team are in touch with our team naman, sa mga team members natin. We are constantly communicating with them. Syempre, especially now, pandemic, we have to make sure we're communicating with them to know what are the things they're trying to do, try to work out. We provide them. We provide those to them. Syempre also with their mental side also, we have to explain also to them na we're in a pandemic, kaya it's a very extraordinary situation na ngayon lang natin lahat naramdaman. So yun, I think most of them naman, we've been in touch, and okay naman. All of them, even the players na nasa Amerika, yung mga base sa States, I think they're okay naman, they continue their training pa rin. But yun nga, competition's not as much.
Mhm. And you mentioned we have players abroad, mga US-based, lalo na, no? And paunti-unti, bumabalik yung mga tournaments, pero dito sa atin medyo malabo pa. How about yung mga foreign-based athletes natin, Coach? Meron na bang mga naka-line up or at least one tournament na tina-target or inihahanda ninyo para sa kanila?
Sa pag-uusap namin sa mga players natin sa US, I think most of them wala pa sila mga plano for tournaments. I think most of them are still on training kasi yung mga tournaments ngayon, even in the US, medyo kahit open sila, delikado eh. I think one of our player also have been infected with COVID. So lahat sila now on the medyo nag-iingat lahat. One of our national team member also na nasa US school, same thing, they're just training muna, waiting for the season. So yun muna, not really a full calendar for them for the year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Coach, as far as the leadership and siguro sa coaching staff are concerned, meron na ba tayong mga short and long-term plans para sa ating national team? Because, isa yung tinitignan natin dito, yung Southeast Asian Games, which will happen end of this year. Right now, ano bang yung sa side naman ng NSA, ano yung inihahanda natin so far?
I think with the leadership of our president, si Attorney Cablitas, I think we're always we have a program, planned program once the situation gets better. Yung mga tournaments natin, everything will come in. It's just that ngayon talaga nababacktrack lang tayo talaga ngayon because of the safety protocols na pinatutupad ng ating government. But once everything opens up, we will give a full program to our players in preparation for the SEA Games. Actually, even the POC now is asking for yung mga training schedules, yung mga competition schedules. Mahirap kasi maglabas ngayon ng because it's still, even other countries are not open yet. Pati yung traveling natin, non-essential kasi yung sporting event, non-essential travel yun, it is also restricted pa rin sa atin. So it's still very hard to plan it out until maybe once the vaccine comes in, yun, medyo gaganda na siguro yung sitwasyon natin, and unti-unti magkakaroon na tayo ng programs for our national team. At I think just yesterday naglabas na ang joint ng DOH, PSC, tsaka nung GOV na still non-professional, you cannot still hindi ka pa rin pwede ng gatherings, ng tournaments for non-professional sports.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And including ang malaking apektado dyan, Coach, yung mga national team members. Because basically, majority of our training pool, national team, are actually technically amateurs.
Yes, true. Very true. Kaya nga kasama tayo sa order na yon. That's why na-hamper yung preparations natin. Kasi you cannot prepare for the next 2 months. Magpe-prepare ka tapos wala din. And then kumaga, it's very hard until siguro the situation gets better, until the vaccine comes in. Siguro doon madali na mag-prepare for the programs ng mga players natin. As of now, siguro training lang muna on their own, and then hopefully things will get better in time.
Coach, the last couple of months, especially itong last few weeks, Alex Ayala is slowly becoming the face of Philippine tennis. Pero meron pa rin mga nagtatanong kasi nagkaroon din ng, remember, konting controversy lang naman about yung PSC financial support issue, ano? Pero is she part ba of the national team? And I believe she already turned pro. Paano ba? Ano bang setup natin with Alex Ayala?
Si Alex naman is part of the national pool na. Okay, she's part of the national team. Yes, she's been playing professional tennis. But I think pag sa tennis naman, even if you play for those WTA, actually it's not. Actually, ano pa lang siya eh, pro women's pa lang siya, women's category. So yun, I think she will still be allowed to play for the Philippines for the coming SEA Games. Hopefully, matuloy yun sa Vietnam.
Yeah. I remember noong sa may Manila SEA Games, months before that, she was being considered to be part of the national team pero nag-beg off ata because of commitments and conflicts sa schedule lalo sa kanyang schooling abroad. Right now, may chance ba na makita natin siya for the Southeast Asian Games?
Alam mo, nung last Manila SEA Games, we were in talk with the parent, with the father, si Mike Ayala, and we really invited her to be part of the team to go through the tryouts. But yun nga, eventually they decided na siguro parang it's still too young for her to really go into the women's national team to play for the SEA Games. So eventually they decided na wag na muna, and then hopefully she starts to play women's tournament kasi syempre yung maturity iba din eh. Yung juniors to women's is a totally different story. So I think commitment-wise, I think Alex and her family will be very much willing to represent the country in the coming SEA Games in Vietnam, hopefully. But yun nga, everything, kumaga, we are in touch and hopefully the schedule permits. That's one. Hopefully siya ma-injured during that time or parang walang commitment na iba for in time for the SEA Games.
Recently rin, Coach, she won a pro tour title. How would you rate that dun sa the kind of competition na meron tayo sa Southeast Asia level, specifically sa SEA Games? Masasabi ba na parang above par yung sa may napanalunan niya as compared to SEA Games, or meron talagang malaking difference or pareho lang?
No, I think yung panalo niya sa women's 15,000 na tournament, it's big for her, especially she's 15 years old. That's already big for her. That's a big win for her. If you compare that sa level ng mga competitors niya for SEA Games, I think we will have a very good chance na, especially if she plays for us, we have a very good chance of getting the finals and hopefully winning the gold. She's been playing really well. Okay, her confidence is high. I think she's one of the youngest in the tournament na sumali doon. So I think very good chance for her to really break into the higher rankings after these tournaments.
Mm-hmm. All right, and Coach, anong tingin mo? What can she bring to the table pagdating sa Philippine tennis in general?
You know, she has been phenomenal for Philippine tennis. Okay, especially the whole Philippines already recognizes her. You can see her in the billboards dito sa Metro Manila. So, kumbaga, she's becoming an icon. Okay, which for the longest time we didn't have. Okay, at a young age, she already achieved so much. So she's become an inspiration for our players, for our young players to really get to that level like her. So she's done a lot for Philippine tennis. Especially now she's going through those winning tournaments.
Coach, merong konting controversy sa leadership and ang masakit dito is that apparently we're banned, suspended for about 2 years ng ITF. Ano bang latest tungkol dito?
Yes, I think everybody knows naman that Philta was suspended by the International Tennis Federation for 2 years for alleged governing and representation issues. But rest assured, Philta now is already addressing those issues. And we've been working since December to work on those issues para ma-resolve yun at ma-lift yung suspension as soon as possible. We're looking at, kumaga, it's a suspension for 2 years, but we were assured naman once we get to work on those issues as early as we can be reinstated again. And we are doing the reforms now with the guidance of the POC and also the SEC. So, kumaga, we're working on our Philippine laws to work on those issues.
Coach, it's good no na hindi apektado si Alex Ayala sa mga ITF sanctioned events. Paano nangyari 'yun?
Kumbaga, with the suspension from the ITF, we are suspended to play yung mga team events like Davis Cup, Fed Cup, junior team events. But the individual events, hindi naman kami, kumbaga players can still play the individual events. Kumbaga yung mga team events lang kami, we're not allowed to join those. But yun nga, I would say it's a blessing in disguise then because it's pandemic. Kumbaga, all of these team events are still wala pang schedule yung mga yan, and if you would remember, we were the last teams to play for Davis Cup last year before the pandemic came. Yung Davis Cup namin with Greece. So that was the last one. So marami pang mga susunod na Davis Cup na ties dapat na lalaruin ng ibang countries, ng ibang zones, ibang group. So up until now, it's still on a standstill talaga.
Okay, Coach Chris Cuarto, thank you very much sa iyo. All the best to you and the rest of the Philippine tennis community.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Nangangalahati pa lang tayo sa kwentuang sports natin ngayong hapon, teammates. Kaya dyan lang kayo dahil magbabalik pa ang PTV Sports.